Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Wade, did you have Thanksgiving after all?
Oh my god, it ended at midnight. It was awesome.
Which part ended at midnight?
The eating.
That sounds like my kind of dinner.
Yeah, we had a grand time.
Yeah, that's good. Was it all the trimmings, all that jazz?
There was nothing left on the. I mean, it was absolutely a feast. We had 20 people. It was supposed to be 12.
20 people. Jeez. Did you cook
Yeah.
or did
Hell
you?
no. Everyone had a good time.
Oh, you were the entertainment. I see.
No. I didn't hardly get a word in edgewise, which is kind of unbelievable.
Really? I can't imagine that dinner. That must have no wonder it lasted until midnight.
It was really, really good.
That sounds good. That sounds pretty good to me. Hope everyone else had a nice Thanksgiving as well yesterday. If you took some time out with family or whatnot, obviously we over here do not have that. So yeah, it was to be honest with you, I was up until midnight working. So that's the fun that I had. But you'll see why. You'll see why.
So now it's Thanksgiving for us then. That you work till midnight. Thanks, man.
Well, it's been a long one. It's been a long week, to be honest. It's been very long. But
yeah.
This is the finale. This is it wrapping up now. So I'll be sleeping all weekend. That's for sure. I don't really sleep much anyway, but I'm sleeping all weekend. And although I think we have the horses being delivered to, not that sounds strange, but like the horses are being shipped, 3 of them, to the field at the weekend. So I think I'm going to be building a shelter. So that's my weekend rest activities. Not exactly fun, to be honest. I don't know how I was roped into that one. Wade, that sounds like something you'd get roped into as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So as ever on these recordings, I say it just out of habit at this point, but I will be on a different tab than everybody else. So if you have questions, just unmute yourself. Yesterday, a lot of people had questions. They jumped in. Worked absolutely fine. So if you do have any questions, just unmute yourself, talk over me. I'll stop and I'll answer your question. And it works just fine because I cannot see the chat. I cannot see hands raised either. Simply because I'm on a different tab. I'm on the slides tab. So I will also be hopping back and forth, probably letting people in because people join throughout the session. So if I go silent for a few seconds, that's where I am. Now, this is day 3 of the recurring revenue activation workshop. And if you're here right now, and a lot of people have been here all 3 days, which has been fantastic, obviously something has hit home, something's connecting with you, which is excellent. That's exactly what we're looking for. And day 2 wasn't really information. It wasn't education mindset. It was more so the behind the scenes strategy as to why something would be so powerful, right? As to why something would have the level of results that it does have, when it comes to delivering for those customers or those clients, when it comes to actually, we all know what their expectations are, right? We all know when we bring on a client, we know, okay, this client, they have an expectation of a monetary result. A lot of people say, well, I'll deliver X, Y, and Z, and they will do so. They'll deliver that, but they know fine well the client is looking for results. They're looking for outcomes. Now, this is actually really important because and we've all been there, and the reason I say that is because just like yesterday, algorithms change. Google algorithm changes all the time. Facebook, the Andromeda update, things change. We don't have full control over these aspects. So, of course, we cannot promise results with Facebook ads or even SEO. We can't promise and guarantee that. So, of course, all of this will have that subconscious limitation or the thing that holds us back, really. Subconsciously, we know the client has a certain expectation. We say on paper we'll deliver something, certain aspects of it, that might not line up exactly with what that client expects. So subconsciously, you know that deep down. So you hold yourself back You stop doing the things that you have to be doing consistently. And what this system unlocks, this unlocks the ability to have full confidence in what you do, which then impacts inputs that you have, right? You start running faster. You start becoming more aggressive. You start closing more deals and performing better in a sales environment because you fully believe in what you do. And belief is something that once you have belief in yourself, once you have belief in what your offer structure, sales start to close. You don't really know why. You can't figure out why. You're not saying anything differently. You're not doing anything differently. But all of a sudden, the dominoes start to fall down. Things start to click. And it's because you believe in the offer. So that's what we're doing here. We're building the belief in the offer, showing you the logic behind why you should believe in such an offer, because of the robust infrastructure behind the scenes, right? This is not something just anybody can build. This has taken over 200 hours, and I know that because I calculated it to build. So when I say this is in depth, when I say this is robust infrastructure, I really, really mean it. And now today, day 3, this is where we take everything that we've built so far, ideas, philosophies, structures, and we scale it into something far bigger than one client or one niche or one revenue stream. But before we get into that, let's quickly anchor what happened yesterday. Now, yesterday, I know you can't see that here, so I'll switch back. Okay, so yesterday, we opened up the systems vault, and you finally saw what sits underneath of this entire model. And you saw that it isn't just a few automations, right? You saw the full capacity of the engine. You saw with one particular niche, with one automation, there are over 100 steps, 100 actions to that particular automation. The AI employees that we run, they're trained on 50,000 words per niche. Not in total, every single one of them is trained to that level, to that extent. Then you've got the review engine. Then you've got the referral engine, which increases our customer base without having to spend on marketing. You've got all of these systems combining to build and multiply the customer lifetime value. Then you've got niche-specific messaging and the depth required to deliver results at that level, and at the level that most agencies, to be perfectly honest with you, don't even know exists. They just think they can deliver a service and they will churn the client. 3 months later, they go get another client, and the system cycle repeats itself over and over and over again, right? So many people become stuck in that world. This is the way out. This is the path that you take if you want to build something strong. You want to build a legacy style business. And you saw yesterday why legacy style businesses survive for 135 years, and why the fastest startups, we covered Stripe yesterday, we covered N8N. You understood why these startups scale so quickly to billions of dollars. 2.5 billion N8N scaled to in 6 years. That's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous. And of course, what we can implement and learn from these types of businesses. These businesses do not chase trends. They build machines. They plug into existing behavior. They solve essential problems, and they generate profit without friction. You saw exactly why we do the exact same. Our goal is to help businesses make more money from what they already have. The reason we do that is because we don't have to change any behavior. And psychologically, that makes sales so much easier for us. It's significantly easier. And then yesterday, you saw the numbers as well. You saw how a single pool builder with 1,800 older leads, without any ads, without any staff, without extra work, can pull in $120,000 in additional profit from one system activation. And we do 2 of them per year. If they run it twice per year, it's almost $250,000 in profit. In profit. That's why we do it. And the way we do this is by reactivating databases. We nurture, we build referrals, a referral flywheel essentially. We have AI employees taking care of converting customers. Basically, if you envision sweeping up the breadcrumbs, right? They're sweeping up all the leads that haven't yet converted. Follow up, because people, especially in the pool industry, let's say, people in the pool industry, they get quotes all the time because it's an exciting thing to do, right? To get a pool. Now, they maybe disappear. Maybe the car breaks down and they've got an unexpected $3,000 bill, and all of a sudden they're maybe thinking, we'll wait 6 months, or they get it and then they think, oh, you know what, we'll just wait till next summer. We don't know what's going to happen with interest rates. We'll wait till next summer. So you'll see that all of these businesses have leads that just disappear. We implement follow-up. We capture those leads. We implement urgency. We implement different offers for them. And it's all based around consumer psychology, every piece of messaging. But that's the secret. This isn't just any old messaging. This is actually messaging written with the purpose of converting a customer. And I mentioned yesterday, when we look at psychology, when we look at instead of trying to tell a lead that they have a problem, which can make them defensive, they can, shut down a little bit, their doors can close. Instead of telling them they have a problem, we can use psychological triggers. So they feel they have a problem, they come to that conclusion themselves, they make the decision themselves, which makes them far more comfortable to make further decisions to pay you money, right? That's how we do it. So language like, we have to fix this. We only fix things that are broken. It puts them in a position of understanding they have a problem. So all the systems, all the processes, everything that we do is all wrapped around consumer psychology. And when we run this all together, it becomes a factory, right? It's like a machine. And this is what delivers the results. These level of results here are because of the strength of the system. It's because it's a consistent factory where the machine simply plugs in and it just operates day in, day out, day in, day out. That's the beauty of it. This is a concept. This isn't, we're not going to call things digital landlords, but I like to use that frame for you to think about, right? Where you have this system. You have a system that makes business owners more money from what they already have. You can then rent that system out to these business owners where they don't have to build it themselves. They just turn it on. It makes them more money and you get paid your rent every single month. So you have the asset. You never give up the asset. That's the beauty of it. Now, you also saw something else yesterday. And you saw why the average agency will never, ever be able to compete with you. And it's not because they're not trying, right? It's not because, they don't do anything. That's absolutely not the reason. They do try, right? Look at all the groups everywhere. Look at all the people everywhere. Of course they try, but they will never in a million years catch up to you. And they'll never be able to build what you saw yesterday. They don't have the time. They don't have the depth. They don't have the knowledge base for the AI employees. They don't have the consumer psychology understanding. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the ability to operate across 26 different niches at the one time, which is something we're going to come on to today. This separates you. This separates you from everybody else. This allows you to operate at a level that nobody else can touch. This is your moat, as we call it, your lagoon. And I prefer to call it lagoon because it's much bigger than a moat. They will never, ever put 200 hours into building something. Never. And you saw why the system doesn't just work yesterday. You saw why it compounds. And today, we're going to be taking this to the next level. Because day one gave you the reason why we do this. Day 2 gave you the engine, the systems as to how we actually do it. But day 3 is how we take over an industry, right? How we actually accelerate so fast, much faster than you have ever experienced. And today I'm going to show you how these systems don't just help one business, but they can help you take over entire markets. You're going to see how to run 3 to 5 niches simultaneously. You're going to see how to expand across 24 niches without increasing your workload, or how to become the digital landlord for multiple industries at once, and how to create income that follows you everywhere you go without being tied to clients, to calls, or to any chaos. And if anyone that can't see the chat, because on the recording you can't see the chat, Vince is saying in the chat that he smells some awesomeness cooking up here. You might be right. Now, the reality is we do not want to be tied to a desk. Day 1 was all about freedom, right? Having the ability to do what you want when you want to do it, having complete control over your time, never having to be in a certain place that you don't want to be in, never having to speak to somebody that you don't want to speak to, right? We've all been there before. So this is all about building that system, that infrastructure that allows you to have that complete control, that allows you to earn, it allows you to build a portfolio that pays you for years. And we're not talking about next year, we're talking about decades, right? We want a business where they pay you consistently over the course of years because they simply cannot live without you. That's the beauty behind what we're doing. So today goes from this is a great idea to we can realistically dominate a market, or any market, in 2026, or the entire market. And this is where everything comes together. So we have a system of that level of depth, and it makes fulfillment so much easier. Now, just can someone unmute, or in the chat, just let me know. Can you see the slide okay? Is it zoomed in enough for you? Someone lets me know.
We cannot
It's a little
see
fuzzy.
the underneath on the right.
last
We
two.
cannot see these niches. Yeah.
Okay, that part. Yeah, that's. I think that's. Let me see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But for the rest, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Okay.
What does it say after coffee shops?
I don't think it does see anything. I know there's letters there. I think it's 26 niches, so I think we've got 26 there.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think actually. I don't think that is actually meant to be a niche in there. It's just to make it look all nice and square, basically.
Yeah, you're just teasing us.
So, and one thing, if I do this, does it change anything on your screen? If I zoom a little bit?
It's more readable.
Or okay, so I'll zoom to 110. And if it messes up, someone just tell me, because I can't quite see what's on your screen. So just tell me if you can't see one of the slides.
It's
So
looking good.
perfect. So when we have a system of that level of depth, it makes fulfillment so much easier. And we spoke about earlier how deep down, when you sell a service to a client, that customer pays you, you do know what the client's true intentions are. They don't want to run Facebook advertising. They want to make money from running Facebook advertising. They don't want to appear on Google. They want to make money because they appear on Google. Their interest, and we all know this, their interest is return on investment. They want to make money. We aren't box tickers here, right? The reason we're here is because we want to deliver results. It's important to us. That's the type of person that responds to our messaging, right? Someone who cares about the client result. Most people out there, the outsiders to what we do, they shy away from this. And you've seen that before, right? They just want to make the sale. That's it. They just want to make the sale. They don't care. They're happy for that client to leave in 3 months. They go to sleep, I don't know how, but they do, at night, and then they go do it again the next day. But that's not who we are. But we don't have to do that. That's the good news. We don't have to do that because we have an extremely robust system setup that can deliver the results, and it isn't half-baked. Now, the secret behind what we do is having the moving fulfillment process that can cater to each of our 26 target niches. This means if you bring on a gym, a chiropractor, med spa, a car dealership, you can easily just use the pre-built system to fulfill. But again, it's not a general system being used in each niche. That's the difference, right? A lot of people will say you can use this in any niche, but to build one system and try and capture all of these. The difference in what we're doing is every single system is custom built. Every single one is for that particular niche, which results in performance, which results in outcomes that they actually want. That's the difference. The level of detail, the level of quality is the reason what we do actually delivers the results. That's the logic behind it, right? And I'm a big logic person. Yes, I want the excitement. I want to feel the emotion, see the opportunity. Like, I love that. Of course, I want to believe in what I'm doing, but I also want to understand why it would work. When I can pair those two together, when I can marry them up nicely, things start to click in my mind and I can run even faster. And today, that's what it's all about, right? It's all about running extremely quickly and unlocking that capability. So because every system is custom built for that niche, this is why it works and it delivers, which then gives you the confidence to operate. If you know you can stand behind it, if you know that you can deliver, you know that if you bring on clients, you can deliver the outcome they want. It removes that subconscious position where you jeopardize yourself, or maybe imposter syndrome creeps up, or you self-sabotage, which is a big one. And I've spoken to a lot of people and they do struggle with self-sabotage, right? Even if they don't know they're doing it. They'll be doing things like shiny object syndrome, jumping from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. That's a form of self-sabotage. It is, because you're not letting yourself get the momentum to actually move quickly. This confidence, this belief in yourself, it removes you from that position, the subconscious position where you self-sabotage or you don't move forwards because you're afraid of delivering. And it's okay, right? It's not your fault. It's not, we've all been there. I've been there. Every single one of us has been there, because we can't control everything. But this is the closest we can possibly ever get to controlling. This is it. So you can operate at full speed with complete confidence. And this is going to open up the door for you. Now, we know that each niche needs its own fulfillment strategy. But in reality, it also needs its own lead generation strategy. So when we look at these niches, the med spa niche needs its own fulfillment strategy, right? We can't speak to them the same way, and we'll cover this in a few minutes. Restaurants, we can't speak to them the same way that we speak to med spas. They're not going to run the same offers, right? They're not going to have the same focus. When you have markets like, let me see here, what I'm looking for, roofers, right? Roofer doesn't have that much lifetime value. They've got a little bit, sure, but they don't have that much lifetime value. Theirs is a bulky purchase, a bit like solar, right? It's one sale. They make their profit off that sale. A restaurant, on the other hand, doesn't really make their profit on one meal. They make their real profit when you keep coming back. So retention, customer lifetime value. We cannot run the same system for these two, right? It just will not work. So we have to understand how to speak to them. But in the same breath, we have to understand that in order to attract these customers, these clients, these companies, we have to speak their language. Our lead generation system also has to be specific to the niches. So for example, a solar company, they don't have much lifetime value. They're typically one sale focused. And I'm going to show you how the systems that we've been talking about over the past few days, where we've got the different engines, right? With AI employees, we've got the nurture systems, database activation, reviews. etc. I'm going to show you how we have the capability to not only tackle this one, but also tackle this one, and how it slots in like a jigsaw puzzle, right? So solar companies, they don't have that much lifetime value. They are one sale focused. This means that for them, we focus more on lead nurture and lead follow-up, converting their pipeline, right? We're going to focus on taking the leads who have been shopping around, getting different quotes, or they thought we'll do it after Christmas, or they just ghost, or whatever the scenario is. Solar companies have huge databases of people who do this, massive databases. And it's the same with pool builders, it's the same with roofers, all of those types of industries. Huge databases of cold leads who were basically dead, and they've paid a lot of money for them because they're expensive leads to get. So we focus on converting that pipeline of leads. That's the goal for solar companies. All the leads we want to maximize the number of conversions that we have. We want to follow up with them. We want to nurture. We want to get them over the line. That's what we focus on for solar. So things like using the database reactivation is a huge one, right? Not from a lifetime value perspective, but a pure reactivation perspective. Then we've got nurture to make sure that they're moving along in the sales process. Then, of course, the reviews kick in. But solar is a huge reviews business, referral business rather, huge for it. It's almost double the amount that chiropractors have. So referral marketing in here is a massive one. But of course, the system is there, right? We have the system to do the referral marketing for them. Solar, basically, whenever someone gets solar panels installed on their roof, they tell everybody, right, in the neighborhoods. They tell their neighbor about the incentives, the rebates. Why? Because as much as solar can be a financial decision, it's actually an emotional decision they make. So they buy into the benefits. That's why solar, just for your understanding, that's why solar is such a big referral industry. They get one person who tells everybody about it. And they want to feel justified in their decision, so they'll tell their friends. Chiropractors, on the other hand, is a different scenario altogether. They don't make that much from their first appointment. They might run a special for an adjustment for like $100 or $30 or whatever. But the recurring service is where they make their money. So instead of looking at, okay, we're going to reactivate, yes, we'll reactivate with chiropractors, but we're really going to focus on the nurture when we're speaking to a chiropractor. We're focusing on maximizing the customer lifetime value. We're focusing on making sure that customer rebooks and shows up for the appointment. We're focused on reviews because it's a big review business where there are multiple chiropractors you can go to, basically anywhere, and you will look at their reviews, and the most reviewed one you will go to. So reviews are more impactful here. So our focus is going to be maximizing lifetime value in this one. It's going to be reviews. It's going to be a bit of referral, whereas this one is going to be follow-up, nurture, and maximizing referrals. That's the reality, right? That's how it's different. Now, the beautiful thing is those systems are interchangeable, right? We just change the direction we're pointing them at because they're all pre-built. They're custom built for those particular niches. It's like walking into, imagine you had a shop with all these different car parts, right? And it doesn't matter what car comes in, you just have the part ready and waiting. You just find the part on the shelf, install the part in the car, you get paid. That's the reality, right? That's what we're building. It's like a factory that produces all the time. So this is where so many people in the industry go wrong. This is where they get it wrong. If we spoke to each niche the same way in terms of lead generation, it's not going to work either. They're not going to be interested because they've got their own pain points. Everybody else tries to sell their product. This is a very important part. Everybody else tries to sell their product, service, or solution to a market. Rather than what they should be doing is selling what the market needs and creating the solution to that specific problem, which is speaking their language. And I want you to think back about what we're actually doing here, where we're looking at the problems the markets have. All of these markets that I showed you, the 26 different niches, and don't worry, I'll show you them again shortly. All of them, they're chosen for a reason. They're chosen because they're the highest converting niches for a system like this. They have the problems that we can fix, and they struggle heavily with those problems. So every market is intentional. We're finding the markets who have the problems and solving the problems for those markets. The difference in what we do to dominate the market is having the ability to cross into the top performing niches effortlessly. We can diversify. We can leverage any booms, right? For example, when things slow down in the mortgage industry, because that's one of our industries, that's one of our niches, the mortgage brokers, when things start to slow down because the interest rates aren't great, instead of worrying, you're good. You're perfectly fine, because then things like HVAC start picking up. It's the nature of how the economy works with these different industries. When one dips, the other one booms, because they contrast, right? One's more about maintenance, other ones are more about buying new homes, or real estate agents. What mortgage brokers could be refinance. The offer can change. It can't when times are tighter, or when interest rates are bad, then the industry is going to quieten down, but you're diversified. That's why I'm telling you, it's so important to have this flexibility, right? Because you can protect yourself. You can leverage against all the economic volatility. And that is so, so important, because I told you yesterday, that's exactly what we did when the shutdowns were happening back in 2020. We were diversified. So when we cross into these different niches, you have to know exactly what to say and when to say it. This allows us to operate at scale and at a level that nobody else possibly can. Because the goal that we have is to send 10,000 emails per month to prospects. 10,000. And they're not bulk sent emails. They're not random mass generated emails. No. The effect that we have is that we're sending 10,000 emails one by one. And again, we're going to come on to this in a few minutes. Literally one by one. But the beautiful part is we're going to take all the pain away for you. If we can do that, the reason we would want to do that is because we can grow extremely quickly at a pace you've never experienced before. Think about if you were to knock on 10,000 doors to try to speak to somebody, would your business grow? Of course it would, right? Because even if you are terrible at it, you're putting in enough volume that it's unreasonable for you not to succeed. The volume is the difference, right? That's what sets you apart, is doing it with this level of volume and this level of intensity. But to send that volume, we need a market that's big enough to actually do it. And any one individual market, when we look at sending 10,000 emails per month, starts to become a lot smaller, right? It really, really does. I think there's something like, don't quote me on this, I think there's something like 30,000 chiropractors across the US. Not that many. Could be completely wrong on that, but I'm pretty confident that's a number I've researched, or at least a very specific type of chiropractor that we would want to work with. It's something like 30,000 or 30 or 40,000. 10,000 emails per month, you can see how that starts to dwindle. So what if we could transcend into different niches? What if we could tap into the demand in 10 different niches at the one time? Or what about 26 of them? The top niches with demand are med spas, solar, real estate, chiros, HVAC, accountants, gyms, electricians, mortgage brokers, yoga studios, plumbers, life insurance, personal trainers, roofers, property management, car dealerships, weight loss, landscaping, and hair salons, pool builders, restaurants, pest control, and coffee shops. Why? Why are these the top niches? Well, there's two types of businesses here. One of them is high ticket jobs, pretty high ticket jobs, and a bit of maintenance. High ticket jobs. And let me see, this is relatively high ticket. And car dealerships, somewhat, not, it's a bit of a mixture. Some of them are, solar, for example, high ticket, but they have a big problem with lead nurture, lots of cold leads. Then you've got the other side of that spectrum, which is lower ticket, but strong lifetime value businesses where the customers keep coming back. And then you have the middle ground, which is something like a car dealership, where maybe they're not coming back every year, but they're coming back every 2 years, 3 years. A lot of people do. So buy a new car, trade theirs in, buy a new car. It's maybe $1,000, $2,000 or so, maybe even a bit more for a car that's sold in profit and commission. It's in the middle. It's consistency, high volume, with a little bit of high ticket. And then you've got things like gyms, right? Which are purely retention and recurring focused. Same with yoga studios. Did you know that the average customer in a coffee shop spends $30 per month? Think about how many customers walk in and out of a coffee shop every single day. Hundreds of customers. The lifetime value, nobody ever thinks of that, but the lifetime value of it is there. It's there, the retention is there. If we can get those customers to come in a few extra times, well, we can increase the lifetime value by 50%, which dramatically increases their profit again. That's the beauty behind what we're doing. These niches are not selected by chance. They're selected because they nicely fit the systems that we run. Well, what if we could simply point a system at these niches, knowing that we can deliver effortlessly, confidently, and then leverage the volume in this market? Because maybe chiropractors only has 30,000 across the US. But when you add these markets in together, all of a sudden your market is in the millions. That leads you to having the capacity, the bandwidth to accelerate so quickly. That's the secret in what we're doing, right? That's the secret, is having the speed, the acceleration to tap into all of these markets at the one time. But what if we could have a system that just pointed into these niches and ran automatically every single day? Now, we'd have to have the custom automations, though, to reach out to every single niche and speak their language, right? Again, I couldn't send the same email to a real estate agent as I would down here, coffee shop, right? I couldn't send the same email. Wouldn't make any sense. Even if I wrote coffee shop in it, wouldn't make any sense, because the terminology would be off. The whole concept of it would be completely off. It just wouldn't make sense. I would have to customize it. But what if we had an automated system that just did it all for us? Now, even if you select 10 of these, just 10 of these niches, and point the system at the niche and send 1,000 emails per month, I showed you the math behind this on Monday, right? And just to refresh, if you were to send 10,000 emails and you booked at 1%, which is half of what we normally book at, well, actually, half of the average, we book at 4 or 5%. But if you just hit 1% and you send this volume of emails over the course of a month, because you've got 26 markets that you can automatically go for, where you don't have to put the effort in, that results in $16,000 in recurring revenue growth per month. That's the reality, because it results in, again, I'm doing this off the top of my head from Monday, but it results in 100 phone calls, 80 of which show up, 20% close rate, results in 16 clients at $1,000 per month. Right? That's the numbers behind it. Why does it come about? Because of that number. because of that number. And the only reason you can send this number is because of what I'm about to show you. The only reason, no one else can send this to the level that we do. Nobody can. And imagine the ability to crank to $16,000 per month. That's acquisition. That's not previous month's revenue. That's just a fast start. It sounds ridiculous. I appreciate that. You're probably sitting there thinking, that sounds ridiculous, but that's actually below benchmark. But here's the secret. If other people tried to do this, they'd blast the emails in bulk and get absolutely nowhere. It wouldn't work. It just would not work. The difference, the secret weapon, is that we have the power to send completely niche specific emails automatically. Then on top of that, we can hyper-personalize them as well, right? So there's 2 steps here, 2 steps of detail, 2 steps of depth. We can do this for 10,000 prospects. And I'll explain a bit more in a few moments. So what does this mean? This means that our system can dig into the pain points of the niche. So it can find solar companies, right? It can look at the exact problems a solar company faces. Then it can turn on the gym automation, lead generation automation. It understands the pain points gyms face with cancellations, right? People giving up on themselves, who make promises to themselves and never follow through. Speak like that to a solar company, it doesn't make any sense, right? Speak like that to a gym, it starts to make sense. Then you turn it to coffee shops, then you turn it to restaurants. It has the ability and it knows how to speak and communicate to all these prospects. Then our system is going to dig into the particular business. So not just a niche, right? The niche is the 1,000 leads, 10,000, 10 different niches, 1,000 leads, each 10 different niches, 10,000 emails. That's the niche specific aspect. But now we're going to go to the individual person aspect, that particular business owner. We use the hyper-personalization engine to do it, right? Some of you have come across this before, you've used it, incredibly powerful. What this can do is it can actually analyze a website and it can predict their problems. It can predict their challenges based on the findings. Then it bridges our service as the perfect solution to their problems, right? It's like it reads their mind, right? So it's the mind reader emails. It literally goes in and it analyzes exactly what the prospect is going to be struggling with. Maybe because of a special offer they're running, maybe because of what it finds on their website. It figures out their problems automatically, caters part of the email to that pain that they're facing, and bridges the solution as our service. This results in much higher, significantly higher conversion rates than normal. But here's the reality. If you did this yourself, it takes 4 minutes on a good day per person, per name, per lead, right? To research and to write the copy for, to write the paragraph, to understand their pain, go on their website, digest their problems, analyze what's going on, predict what their future problems are going to be as a result of what they're doing today, write the copy for it. That takes at least 4 minutes per lead. If you did this yourself, this would mean it would take you 41 hours just to launch a lead generation campaign, to send the 10,000 emails. You're basically just working a full week, a long full week actually, just researching leads, literally for every single minute of every single hour, relentlessly. That's hard graft, right? That's hard to do. Very, very hard to do. But that's why nobody can compete with you. And it's not because you have to do that. Now, it basically puts the 10,000 emails to that level of customization and depth out of reach of everybody else. They cannot do it. If you want to hire someone, this all started because I did hire people to do this 4 or 5 years ago. I did hire people and I had to pay them $20 an hour. And I say 4 minutes per lead. I said that was on a good day. That doesn't account for time between leads. It doesn't account for thinking time. It doesn't account for days where they're not really feeling it, days where they don't show up, etc., etc., etc. So you're probably more like 50 hours. And they're never willing to do it either. So think about what that actually costs to do that, right? 50 hours times 40. 50 hours times $20 per hour. You're paying $4,000 a month just for them to research leads for one campaign, right? Significantly different. So this is why nobody else can compete with you. This is why they can't do this. They cannot do it to this level. This is where the hyper-personalization comes into play. You upload the 10,000 leads in various niches. It will research every single prospect for you in seconds. It will analyze their problems, their struggles, and then bridge the solution for you. It's going to write the email for you as if it's reading the prospect's mind. The difference is it scans 10,000 leads in about 30 minutes compared to 41 hours. All of a sudden, lead generation at this level is possible for you. Everyone else, it's not possible. Nobody else can do it, but it's now possible. We've got to be custom. We need to be personal. That's how we get the attention. That's how we stand out in amongst a crowd, in front of, with all the other emails in their inbox. We stand out because our emails read their mind. It hits the exact problem that they're facing right in the head, as if we honestly were in their business and we knew it. It's extremely powerful. So we're going to the depth of the niche, speaking to them the right way, and we're going to the depth of the individual prospects, and 10,000 of them. The problem of the past and the problem outsiders face is that they cannot do this at scale. They're locked out, the door's shut, they can't do it. Only you can. Whereas we can send completely custom emails, researching the prospects, and then having niche specific email copy, speaking their language for 26 different niches at once, 10,000 per month. And that's not even the limit. You can do more because it's an automated system, right? It's all automated, but it doesn't have the downside of automation, which is removing customization, removing personalization. We retain that. That's the difference. But that means your process is quite simple. You download your leads, you upload them to the hyper-personalization engine. It will then research all of the leads for you. You download the enriched list of leads because it does it for you. It puts it back into the spreadsheet for you. You download this list. You upload it to Go High Level into the niche specific Go High Level automation that is pre-built. It already has the email copy. It already has the merge tags built in. You launch. That's all you have to do, right? Now, where do you get your leads from? It could be any source you want to. D7, Clay, Apollo, the works. It can be any source you want to. You can get a freelancer from Upwork if you want to dig a list of leads for you. You can use different softwares if you want to dig leads. They can come from anywhere you want. You just upload, let it process, download, upload it to Go High Level, go. That's your process. You replicate it across different niches. You download a list of gym owners, a list of plumbers, a list of electricians, a list of chiropractors, a list of solar companies, and go through this process of downloading, upload, go. Download, upload, go. That's it. That's all you have to do to send 10,000 emails per month to that level of customization, that level of personalization. You're personalizing and customizing at two different levels. First to the niche, speaking their language, then to the individual prospect as well. But all you did was download, upload, and point the system at it. That's it. You're not doing any more than that. The system is already there. The system can speak the language. You just have to give it leads from anywhere you want, literally anywhere. So you can send 10,000 emails per month completely custom, directly at niches, and operate at the level of quality and speed that nobody else can match, all automatically. You don't need to keep doing it daily either. It's not as if you have to show up every day and do this. No, you do it once. You do it once. Ben, this is for the lead generation component. So Ben's asking in the chat, do you not get the code database from the client business and reactivate it? That is for the client work. Yes, you do. This is for your lead generation. So when you think about where you get your clients from, that's what we're talking about here. This is how you get clients. So you don't have to show up every day. You just upload 1,000 leads and the system will process them and send emails every single day automatically. The reason we do it like this is because the secret behind success is actually consistency, right? If you just show up consistently and do the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes unreasonable that you will not succeed. But it's quite hard to do that, right? It's quite hard to do that. Think about going to the gym. It's easy for us to just drive to the gym and walk in, but we don't do it, right? We don't do it because it's actually kind of hard for us to put ourselves through that. Well, the whole concept here is if we know we need to be consistent to succeed, what if we take the human element out of it entirely? But instead of, obviously automation has always been a thing, but it was always at the price of customization, personalization. You could only send blanket, bulk, mass emails. Well, not anymore. Now we can take the benefits of the consistency of automation with the beauty of keeping it completely custom and completely personal at all times. This is how we generate massive demand in a very, very short space of time. And this is how we keep it consistent month after month. Then you come on to the sales process. Leads us straight to it, right? When you get on that call, how do you present the system to that business owner? Well, once again, every single niche is different.
Perfect.
Wait, have you got a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw you had complete sales scripts. I said perfect.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all good. That's all good. So we need to speak to every niche differently. Solar, chiropractors, different ballgame entirely, right? We cannot speak to them the same way. We want the benefit of being able to work in 26 different niches at once, running as fast as possible. But we have to realize that we can't speak to the same people, different people the same way. We just can't do it. Every niche is different. You've got to show them numbers related to their niche. I showed you the pool builder example, right? Earlier today and yesterday. That was numbers related to the pool builder niche. Can't show that to a solar company. It's irrelevant. Doesn't make any sense. We need numbers for solar. We need numbers for chiropractors. We need numbers for gyms who focus on retention, because their goal is not going to be how big of a sale they can make. It's going to be how many times they can get a customer to keep coming back, the lifetime value. So you see, it's not just about running through the same pitch. It's all about knowing how to customize that pitch to that particular niche. And that, honestly, knowing how to do that is an expert craft. It's like a master level, right? It's not easy to be able to predict the problems that everybody else has. It's not easy to know what to say, when to say it. It takes experience. There's consumer psychology behind it as well. You've got to identify their problems. You've got to identify what they struggle with, and of course, their objections. Juggling all 26 niches, trying to figure that out would be really, really, really difficult. It'd be really hard. It would stop you from operating at full speed, right? Because you wouldn't be certain. You wouldn't feel confident, just like I was mentioning earlier. And this is where our system comes into play once again. Imagine having the complete sales scripts ready for each niche that you can follow to the letter. Every one of them. all 26, custom examples, the numbers that they focus on, the problems they have, the objections that they have, with all of the niche numbers built into the calculations for you, meaning that you can speak their language. You can target 26 different niches. You can say, I've got a solar person on my calendar. Okay, perfect. I open the solar box, let's say. There's my script. There's my system. Perfect. Next up, chiropractor. Okay, chiropractor box. This is what I do. That's the beauty of it. You've got their problems right in front of you. You have their numbers right in front of you. You've got what this system can do relevant to their business. How do we engineer? How do we twist it, right? Or how do we gear it towards that particular niche? What parts are important to them? What do we focus on? It's all taken care of. You don't have to figure it out. It's at your fingertips. And this means that you can generate leads and sell in any of the markets or all of the markets if you want to. All you do is you set that system up once and upload your leads. That is your task. You set the system up once and upload those leads, because everything else is taken care of. Then, as a quick reminder, when that client does pay you, right, they've transacted, money has hit your account, all feels good, it's exciting. You have the pre-built system ready to switch on in their niche. You don't have to worry about delivery. You don't have to think, what do I do? How do I deal with this client? I've never worked in coffee shops before. I don't know what to do. Well, I've got solar next week. What do I do about that? You don't have to worry about it. You turn the solar system on. That's actually good. I did not mean that, but that's quite good. The solar system. And you turn on the coffee system, right? You turn on the chiropractor system. That's how easy it becomes. You don't have to worry about the delivery. And this allows you to spread your wings confidently. So many people have said to me before, if I just had the system in place, I know I could do it. So many people have said that to me. If they could just have the system in place. Then it leads them to say, I just worry about lead generation. I worry about the time it takes. I worry about what to say on sales calls and how to deliver. If I just had a repeatable process, I could really crank this. I just need that. I need that confidence. I need that ability to just do what I have to do without having to worry about things. Well, that's what I'm showing you. And that's what I'm showing you, where you can turn on hyperspeed. If you really want it, if you really want to go out there and you want to go after it, you can quite easily go out there and just start driving demand tomorrow at a scale and speed that you've never experienced before. Daniel is saying in the chat, our presentation looks better than 99% of website. There's secrets behind that. Now, so if you really, really want to do it, you can go faster than you have ever experienced before. This is the magic behind what we do. This one's not Gamma Ben, actually, no. Instead of having one good month, then struggling to push forwards, you can operate consistently, which is the secret, because the system does it all for you. You're diversified across multiple different niches. You've got a wide enough market to operate at volume. You've got a consistent delivery process behind the scenes where you can deliver. This sets your business up like a machine and like an investment portfolio. That's the key, like an investment portfolio. These systems here, and if I switch here, I think it zooms in a bit too much. These systems make a tremendous difference, right? They diversify your revenue over these different machines. The 26 different niches diversify your revenue. You just turn the system on, and no matter what the storm blows in, right? Where there's economic downturns, mortgage brokers are not selling anymore, car dealerships are struggling. Well, people are stressed out. Yoga starts to boom, right? People don't go to the restaurants quite as much. They go to the gym more. You see how when one thing moves into downturn, the contrasting service or business, the contrasting service starts to boom. So when one's up, the other one's down. Your ability is to, or the capability you have is to be able to go into these niches and just attack them without having to do it all yourself. Just having this machine that goes bang, bang, bang all day long, because you're not the one that has to show up. You just point the system. And I have this, John is saying in the comments here, what about email blindness with these businesses that get flooded? Good question, John. This is where the hyper-personalization comes in. Now, the hyper-personalization is a system that takes their website and analyzes it, and it finds their problems, right? It identifies their problems. It actually mentions their exact problem. So, for example, in the online space, say a company, let's say we did this one for chiropractors a lot, right? Chiropractors who ran webinars, and we know, or the system knew, I say we know, the system knew that the webinars drive a lot of attendees, but they've got a huge fall off rate, right? So what it did was it names the title of the webinar, when it took place, the concept of it, the report from that webinar, and then it will actually predict the problems. You probably experienced, we see quite a lot of people experiencing huge drop off when it comes to running these webinars. They're great, they build up a lot of excitement, but there's a huge drop off. We can help you fix that. So because it's so custom to that person, the chiropractor down the road wasn't running a webinar titled exactly what this company ran, right? It predicts the problems. It becomes very, very personal, which then stands out in their inbox. Everybody else is saying, I love your website. We're saying, here's the problem you're facing. We're going to hit it on the head. And because we hit it on the head, they notice, they pay attention. That's the difference. That's how we get over or overcome, or it doesn't impact us, email blindness, right? It's completely custom to that individual. That's the secret sauce behind it. And of course, the system does it all automatically for us, so we don't have to worry about that. So like I was saying, the key is to have a diversified machine. That's the goal. Diversification, making sure all of these systems are working in harmony across different niches. We're not diversifying the system. It has different elements depending on the business. We're diversifying the niches that we go into. We're just doing it automatically. We're giving you that capability. So let's talk about a 3-step action plan, what I call the market takeover. Now, before we go deeper, I wanted to give you something extremely practical, because everything I've shown you today is powerful, but I wanted to put it into a 3-step process where you could actually execute on things if you had nothing but time and a laptop. If you ask me what I would do if I had to start again tomorrow, what would I do? This is what I would do. The first step is to choose your 10 niches. Obviously from the list that we have, simply because there's a reason we're choosing those niches, right? We're not just making them up. There's a reason we're choosing those niches. We don't need to go along the path of picking one perfect niche. That's like the old way of doing things. This old model. That's how people stay small. I have a philosophy, and I've said it many times. Our niche, the niche that we have, is the problem that we solve. The problem that we solve. That is our niche. We're not here to be freelancers either, right? We do not want to be spending our time working specifically with clients. We don't want to be spending our time reaching out to people all day long manually. You're here to become a digital landlord, right? That's the idea. Automated income, automated revenue behind the scenes. So you choose 10 of the high demand niches. Don't choose one, because the niche is the problem, right? I say niches because it's the term you're familiar with. They're just markets. They're markets that all share similar problems. They all share a similar business model, give or take slight tweaks and adjustments, but it's okay because our system solves those problems anyway, right? It'd be different if it was a completely different problem. We're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. We're not doing that. We're saying our system solves specific problems. Here's the array of markets that we can work in. So I'm going to choose 10 of them, and I'm going to pick from the list: med spas, caros, gyms, solar, HVAC, electricians, and so on. This is recorded. If you want to see the list, you can, the recording, you can pause it. So why am I choosing 10? Well, one niche is too small. 3 is okay, but 10 niches allows you to scale volume. It allows you to get a lot of exposure, and it allows you to build a lot of momentum. And I appreciate the amount of times you have probably heard people out there say you should pick one niche. You should go to chiropractors, and that's all you do. I appreciate my opinion's probably quite contrarian. It's different to what everybody else says. But there's logic behind it. There's reason, there's proof and logic and reason behind what I'm saying here. And it's all because our niche is the problem we solving. If you were to get a tattoo, that's what I tell you to put on your arm. Our niche is the problem we solve. The rest are just markets who have that problem that we solve. This gives us, the 10 niches, gives us enough and a wide enough market to run 10,000 emails per month without exhausting your audience. Very, very powerful. Now, step 2. This is the fuel behind the momentum. Your target is very, very simple. We want 1,000 leads in 10 different niches, which equals 10,000 total leads. This is what gives you the volume you need to scale rapidly. And like I said earlier, where do you get them from? Apollo, D7, Clay, Google Maps, Yelp, different industry databases. You can get freelancers from Fiverr, Upwork to dig the data, local directories, Chamber of Commerce lists. There's different scraping softwares. It does not matter. The moral of the story is it doesn't matter where you get your leads from. That's not the important part. The important part is what we do with the leads. Does not matter where they come from. All that matters is you get 10,000. And the best part about it, you only need to do this once. You do it once. Because once these leads are loaded into your system, it's going to keep sending automatically for months. Literally months. Imagine setting up a system, and the volume of leads doesn't matter, right? You can set up 100 or 10,000. It'll take you pretty much, I reckon there's probably a 20-minute difference in time for setup. And that's not because of you. That's just because the system takes longer to process 10,000 than it does 100, right? There's no difference. So you might as well set up 10,000 at that point. So you set up that system, and let's say it'll take you 60 to an hour and a half, right? 60 minutes to 90 minutes to set this up. That's months of lead generation. That's months of you showing up every single day and prospecting without actually having to do it. So we're taking the things people struggle with, the problems, the consistency problems, and we're automating that process. Now, step number 3. We send 10,000 hyper-personalized emails every single month. This is where everything starts to change. We're not sending 100. We're not sending 1,000. We're sending 10,000 niche-specific emails. Stage 1. Every email is custom written for the problems and the pain points of those niches. Then step 2 is the hyper-personalization depth to the individual business. Combine those two together, send 10,000, it becomes inevitable, right? It's inevitable for you to actually reach those goals. Daniel, what you saying here? Yes, you could sell the hyper-personalization system if you wanted to business owners. It's very, very powerful. Now, here's the part that nobody ever realizes. Manual research takes 4 minutes per lead. 10,000 leads, like I said earlier, 41 hours of research. This is why nobody else can do this. They cannot do it without this. They just cannot do it. Nobody except you, because the hyper-personalization engine handles the lead research, the website scanning, the pain point detection, the offer bridging, and the email personalization. It's not just saying, oh, I love your website. No, not at all. It's going to their problems. It's reading their mind. 10,000 leads processed in 30 minutes instead of 41 hours. 2 layers of personalization, niche specific, individual business pain. But all you did was download leads, upload leads, download them from the system, upload to Go High Level, tag them, system launches. That's it. And what do I mean by tag them? Well, the systems themselves are set up as such that if you download a list of chiropractors, when you upload it to the Hyper-Personalization engine, it personalizes for you. You download them, you upload them to Go High Level, you tag them as chiropractors launch, and the automated system for chiropractors launches. Do the same for car dealerships. Do the same for med spas. Do the same for roofers, electricians, plumbers, solar. All you do is tag it. How simple this is, right? Being able to operate at that level of personalization, that level of depth, that level of volume, that level of consistency, and all you have to do is download, upload, download, upload, tag. That's literally it. It's ridiculous. This is how you scale a business without adding workload. This is the market takeover. Now, to recap, we want to choose 10 high demand niches. We want to acquire 10,000 leads, so 1,000 per niche. We want to send 10,000 personalized emails every single month. If you did just these 3 steps without adding anything else, your business would grow at a pace that you've never experienced before. And this is how you dominate 2026. This is how you create consistent demand. This is how you build diversification and stability. This is how you operate like a portfolio, not a freelancer. It's like an investment portfolio. And this is a strategy that turns your factory into a machine. We spoke on day 1 about the factory model, right? The legacy businesses, building after those businesses. Then on day 2, we spoke about the hyper growth models like Stripe, like N8N, the lessons we can learn. Well, we've automated lead gen at a ridiculous level, very, very fast. We've automated the fulfillment at a ridiculous level, very, very fast. That's the beauty of it. That's exactly what we're doing. Now, I think I might be on the slide here. I think I'll be okay, actually. So, this is essentially a system. Can you include? And kitchen remodels is actually on the list, John. That's it. The list was probably quite hard to read because of the slide size, but on the recording, if you just pause the video at the niche part, you'll see kitchen and bath remodelers are on that list as well. So imagine a system where you had the potential where you could just skip that learning curve, a system where you can plug it in and attack multiple different niches at once, a system where consistency does not depend on you showing up every day, because like we all know life gets in the way. It's hard to do that. If life didn't get in the way, we'd all have 6-pack abs, right? Like, of course, if it was easy, we'd all do it. This makes it easy. This makes it. Ben said, we do this only when you say you only do this once. Is this a one-off exercise or is it once a month? It's once a month. If you upload it, you do it once a month. Once for every 10,000, basically, that you want to do. That's the way you typically do it. So yeah, one 60 minutes of work to set the system up for honestly, multiple months. So, well, then Ben's also saying there, do you just send one email to each? There's a full sequence. You can do an outbound call if you want to, but typically sequence is good enough. And Darrell's asking, do we have to extract leads manually ourselves? You would probably use a software like D7 Lead Finder. You just download thousands at once in a matter of seconds. That's typically what you do. So yeah, you would download leads. Apollo, D7, any of these platforms work okay. So having a system where you can run AI employees, where you can crank revenue with niche-specific database reactivation, where you can increase conversions with review automations, where you can drive their new customer base without marketing costs, with a referral engine. This is the power and the strength of this model. And this is building your legacy. And today, Anthony's asking, are we also verifying them too? It depends on the source. If it's D7, you can verify them. If it's not D7, your data is normally a bit better, so it's not quite as important. But the truth of the matter is, I would rather you spend time with the volume and spreading it across domain names rather than spending a fortune verifying emails. That's just the reality of it. So, no worries. Now, I've mentioned throughout this that we've been building something pretty special, and it's taken us over 200 hours to do. And this is going to be a method where you can fast track this entire process. Okay. And like I say, this has taken us 200 hours to build. 200. And I kid you not, I told you I was up till midnight last night finishing things off, right? 200 hours. We've tracked it. My head hurts, to be perfectly honest with you. I have the answers that you're looking for. We've built the entire system for you. It's completely plug and play. You saw yesterday the depth of the automations that we run. 100+ actions per automation per niche for database reactivation, reviews, referrals, AI employees trained on 50,000 words per niche. Imagine the level of effort that takes, right? It's ridiculous. All the lead generation systems for every single niche already built out with the email copy for that particular niche already built into it. So you just have to tag the niche, or all the sales scripts required for every single aspect. Completely plug and play. That's the depth of what we run. And today I wanted to put them in your hands and give you the chance to fast track the whole thing in the spirit of Black Friday. Now, normally, a system like this, where you can operate at 10,000 leads per month, robust infrastructure, complete with automations, lead generation systems, sales processes, the works, it would cost you over $10,000. It really would. I'm not even kidding. And in fact, I actually know, and I know some of you know other companies, and the ones I'm referring to as well, that charge $20,000 for half of what we're looking at here. $20,000 for half of it. And I know this firsthand because many of those companies were actually our clients. So I know what they charge. I know how it works. I know what's behind the scenes of these $20,000 programs. But don't worry, this isn't a program. It makes sense to charge that, though. I understand why they do. If they're delivering anywhere close to what we have, something that takes 200 hours to build, is literally plug in with 26 different niches, completely custom, with all the setup taken care of, where you can immediately get paid $1,000 per month from one client. If you get 2 clients that stay for an entire year, you make profit on your $20,000 investment. It's positive, right? And you still have the system to keep doing more and more and more. So it makes sense. Like, I understand why they charge $20,000. It makes complete sense to me. The good news for you is that you know that that's not our style. We focus on delivering ridiculous value at all times for our members. So for Black Friday, I've got something that's going to blow your mind, to be perfectly honest. And here's what I'm giving you. Pre-built email sequences for 26 high-performing niches, including the automations, all built out, ready to go instantly. The complete sales scripts for every single niche, fully built out with all the number projections, everything they need, custom to that particular market. The full automated lead generation system for every single niche. Your 100-step database reactivation automations, custom built for every single niche, where you don't have to set up any of it. You don't have to go put the words in either. You might think, well, the automation is there, but I've got to go put the words. No, you don't. For chiropractors, it's done. Car dealerships, it's done. Med spas, solar, roofers, kitchen and bath, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, and so on. Gyms, so on, so on, so on, so on. Life insurance, accountants, real estate, mortgage brokers. All of it has been done. This whole automation process, all the offers, all the text, all the text messages and emails, they've all been pre-written. All been pre-written. Your complete reviews workflow for each niche. Your complete referral, the system is ready today, yes. Your complete referral workflows for each niche. Pre-built, and this is one of my favorites, pre-built in-depth knowledge bases for each niche with an AI employee. Most AI employees are built on literally bare bones, right? So you try and install an AI employee for a chiropractor, and it's like, you know, it's very, very basic. It's what are your opening hours or so on. That's basically it. Whereas the AI employees that we've developed with the knowledge bases that you can just customize for a particular customer, maybe, you know, putting in their opening hours. The niches, I'll come back to them in a moment. Yeah, I've got a big list. So the AI employees, instead of just having generic information, you can take a chiropractic AI employee who understands the treatments, pain timeframes, what it entails for specific treatments, where the customer asks these questions on calls. All you have to do is take the business owner's opening hours. So rather than having only the opening hours, all you have to do is take the business's opening hours and their business name and put it in. And they've got this basically expert level chiropractor AI employee. But you've got that for gyms, electricians, plumbers, roofers, etc., etc., etc. Every single one of them to that level. And you might wonder, how do I sell this, right? I send emails. What about, how do I look legitimate? Well, I'm also giving you your own agency website pre-built for these particular services, right? And it's not just a website. It has video sales letters for each service that you can just immediately stick your logo on, connect the domain name, go. That's it. So you can actually take the VSLs for AI employees, for database reactivation, for referrals, for reviews, for the whole system as a whole, and have videos already built into the website. It's incredible. Then on top of that, to sweeten the deal just a little bit more, I mentioned the hyper-personalization engine. If you want to successfully generate demand, you need to hyper-personalize all of your leads. And I said you've got to send out 10,000 for a very fast start. That's 10,000 leads that you have to hyper-personalize, but you have to do it. If you don't do it, your booking rate is going to hit the floor. It increases the booking rate by 10x, simply hyper-personalizing. Yes, there is. It increases the booking rate by 10 times by hyper-personalizing. I'm going to give you 10,000 lead credits, which normally cost $1,000, included in this offer. Included, you don't pay for it. 10,000. So that first campaign, the $1,000 it would cost you to set up and run, don't have to worry about it. It's already included. This is a ridiculous offer, and it would make sense if I charged $20,000 for it, but I'm not. I'm not even charging $10,000, not even $5,000. In fact, I'm not even charging a fraction of that. This is something I call the AI legacy model. Today, you're going to be able to get access to this with the full system and $1,000 of hyper-personalization credits with an extremely special and rare offer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a link make sure you're in the WhatsApp group. I'm going to send a link in that group, and I'm going to put it in this chat too, just as I wrap up this call with the link where you can get all of the details, how it all works, the Black Friday structure, and exactly what you have to do to lock this in. And I think you might be pleasantly surprised at just how it works. Now, over the last 3 days, you've seen 3 things very, very clearly. You've seen the old way of doing this, chasing clients, guessing offers, reinventing fulfillment, living month to month. All this is broken. The people who win over the next 3 to 5 years are the ones who build machines and moats, right? That separate themselves from the competition. They don't work harder, they work a lot smarter. You now have the opportunity to skip the 200 hours, and I kid you not, Alyssa, Sarah, and a few other people are probably going to kill me by this point, because they're losing their rag with me because of what I've put in this and the amount of work it has taken. You can hear it in my voice. They're losing their rag with me, and I'm not even just saying that I'm in a bit of trouble. So at this point, it's really simple. You either go and build all of this yourself, or you decide that you don't want to piece it together. You want the factory, you want it pre-built, you want the infrastructure, you want to move now, and you want to accelerate quickly. So if this has landed for you, if you understand what I'm saying, you see the picture, you see the opportunity, if you can feel that this is the next step, then go to the page when I drop it, read it properly, and make a decision as to what you want to do. And this isn't some maybe one day you can do it thing. This is a Black Friday offer, right? I do this once per year. As you all know, I do not sell anything. Once per year, at this time of year, I will deliver something absolutely mind-blowing. And I hope this time I've achieved that once again. Now, John is asking, will you provide credits for skilled customers, Edge's ecosystem, to apply this offer? Is it everybody, anyone who jumps into this offer with with the Black Friday offer will get the 10,000 credits. They will get the whole thing and all the system, everything. And Daryl, you were asking about the deadline. It is going to be basically over the course of this weekend to Cyber Monday, right? That's going to be your Black Friday, Cyber Monday offer. This is it. This is the entire offer. This is what we're doing. And you'll see, you know, if you were to look at the hyper-personalization engine independently, for 10,000 credits, it costs you $1,000. That's what it costs, right? Difference is, you don't have to pay that. So when we talk about value stacks, when we talk about pricing and such, and we add up value, this is real, right? And you'll see what I mean when you see the link. So just to wrap this up, I wanted to thank you for being here today. And many of you have been here for all 3 days. I love you. You've been here for all 3 days. You've sat here. You've thought differently, which I love. And I love when we bring groups of people like this together. It opens your minds to a bigger way of operating that already puts you miles ahead of the average person. Most people never even stop to ask, is there a better way to do this? But you did. So thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your attention. And if you're one of the people who does decide to step into this AI legacy model with us, I can't wait to see what we build together. And I will post the link just now. Now, just to answer the questions, will I be doing a session where we can ask questions after reading the offer? Well, Ben, I wasn't planning on it, but I can do if there's enough people who have questions. Otherwise, as you know, I'll be in the WhatsApp group. Whatever you need, I'm happy. I will leave you if you want to even leave a voice note or whatever. I'll respond to you and answer the questions. But if there's enough people that want a session where it's like Q&A, then sure, absolutely, I can do that. That's not a problem. And Ianthas, Olivia saying, give me the link and credit cards, right? Ianthas, should I watch day 2 to understand this offer? Yes, I would. Yeah, I would tell you to watch it. Yeah, definitely, I'd recommend watching it. What do you mean? What's that link?
You're saying you're saying you're going to put it in the WhatsApp link.
I'm going to put it in this chat, so I'm just going to post the link here. This is the Phil and John, and also Wade yourself. That's the link there in the chat, but it's also going to be in the WhatsApp group. If you're in the Facebook group, I will also post the WhatsApp group because you should be in there. It pops off all the time. People are always chatting in there. So like every day, multiple times a day, it's the place to be. So Phil and John, make sure you join the WhatsApp groups as well, because that's where everything is happening right now. It's a really great place to be honest with you. Perfect. All right. Any questions before we wrap up for the day? Feel free to ask whatever you need. If there are no questions, I will be available in the WhatsApp group. No, you do not need any extra software. Well, you need Go High Level, but we provide that for you, David, anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. So you do need Go High Level, but we have it. Yeah, we give it to you. And Phil's asking, is there replays? The recording of this will be uploaded. Yes. Phil, if you don't mind, tell me, where did you get the link for it? Did you get it through email? Because I send the links out for you, the recordings on YouTube. If you got it through, perfect, you got it through email, so you'll get the link through email as well for the recorded sessions as well. Sharifa, do you have a question?
I may have missed this. What did you say? Well, I don't know why I can't. Maybe I need to minimize my screen so I could see the link. But are there any other monthly reoccurring fees that we should, other than the Go High Level? Maybe I missed that. I know we have the hyper-personalized links. Other than that,
for Go High Level, you don't. Well, obviously, we provide that within the lab already.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to worry about Go High Level. The only other cost is if you use say you wanted a platform like D7 Lead Finder, that's like $30 or $35 a month or something to get your lead, just leads. Training is included. Yes, all the SOPs, Phil, as well. Sorry, Shiva. Yes, the D7 Lead Finder or Apollo or etc. is all included in it. Sorry.
You said the Apollo is included?
Sorry, the Apollo is not included. I got a bit mixed up there. I was distracted by the chat for a second, and my words were twisted. So the Apollo isn't included. We don't have anything to do with that. I can't provide that at all because it's a entirely separate thing. But Apollo D7, they're roughly about $40-$50, but that's for thousands of leads. That's for thousands of leads. Okay. I think there's like 3,000 a day or something like that you can download. So it's apart from that, there's no additional monthly costs or anything like that.
So is Apollo and D-Leads different? Those are two different options? Different
options. There's also Clay. There's also one that Charles, I'm not sure if Charles does, it's called Scrap, SCRAP.io. There's that. That's also, I haven't tested that one. He tested that one. He said it was pretty good. He likes it. So there's that one. You can get freelancers from Upwork to do it for you if you want. There's multiple options and various price points, but okay.
You want me to touch on?
And on those freelancers from Upwork, are they where we can actually, do you guys have a referral?
I do have one.
Person?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna cost you more than just going to a company and pulling a giant. I've done cold email from an agent. I've sent out probably 30,000 in a month. So when you start getting somebody privately doing it versus just going and getting a list, it's easier to do that than just scrape. Yeah, like the Scrap one. It's something new that I've used. I've only gone through it a little bit. Again, it's if you prefer that. A lot of people in the industry use D7. That's like if for people out there that haven't done this before, Niall talked at D7 is like the go-to for people who are sending out mass emails.
Got it.
And I think a lot of places right now are running Black Friday specials if you sign up. So if you're going to do something, look like it's good to go online today.
Okay. Thank you
Just
for that.
yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. A freelancer will cost you more. It is, like, to be perfectly honest, the freelancer, the data is the best that you can get for sure, but it does cost you. That's the issue. I still like to use these platforms. I still use the likes of D7 and Apollo, and I'm gonna try the one Charles has, Scrap. I'm gonna try that out too, but it looks good. It does look good. So those are the only additional costs that you have, and it's simply, if I could, I would give you it, but I don't have any control. And is extremely, they've got, basically what they do is they have aggregated millions upon millions of leads over the years. So that's why they have, the moat that we speak about in the leads industry. So yeah, there's no additional cost really, Sharifa, for you.
Okay, so and then I think I may have missed your actual price, or did you give it, or we just need to click on the link?
It's in
How much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Niall, a quick question.
Yep.
I noticed that it says your own agency website with video sales. This will take the place of the website that I just built out within the system.
It depends if it's better.
Okay. How you have the website that's in there already.
Yeah. I'd say this one, yes, simply because it's been specifically built for this offer, right? You don't have to change anything on this at all.
Gotcha.
And
I just wanted to go as I'm looking at it. Okay, thank you.
No worries. I'm just catching up in the chat. Phil, I know you are in. We'll be setting up. We've got to set people up individually. So after this call, that's when you'll get your access, because you can import it into your account and all that stuff. So we just do it person by person, because it's an entire system that goes with it. So you'll be set up extremely quickly. David, you're asking how long does it take to get up and running? It's basically immediate, because it's a pre-built system. There's no real lag time at all. Daryl's asking if you already have your own Go High Level, can you import it? Yes, you can. Yes, let me just see here. Phil, yep, you can have your own Go High Level account. The automation does not use any in. It does not use that. You can run that, Daniel, on your Skill Certified sub account. And do D7, etc. provide leads in a given region? Yes, they do. They provide it in given regions. They do. And there's also there's lots of other platforms too. Like the one Charles was talking about looks really good. Scrap, it's called, and it does local leads, like it's from Google and such. It's good. It is good. And they're also asking, if I have only one sub account, is it enough, or do I need to cater for one sub account for each customer? Well, what I would say is for getting started, you only need one sub account. You only need yours. Then a customer comes on board, you can use your second sub account for them. Then they're paying you $1,000 per month. And the next customer, sure, you can upgrade at that point, right? Like for the, because you'll have $2,000 per month, you can get the 297 account on Go High Level. You can do that. So it pays for itself basically. So you don't really have to worry too much. And nope, David is.
I'm sorry. Quick question to that. So you're saying start with the account you provide, and then when we get our first client, there's another account that's available to them?
You can upgrade your Go High Level if you want to, or you can wait till 5 clients. It doesn't matter. It's choice. There honestly isn't that much tremendous benefit, apart from just giving you a little bit more control. So a lot of people just like to just keep their existing setup, and they just create different accounts with us, and it doesn't cost them anything. And it's good. It's fine. But some people like their own account, which is perfectly fine too. So there's no real benefit. It's just choice, preference. Does that answer your question, Sharifa?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So David, to answer your question in the chat here, is it a one-off payment or does it recur next year? It's a one-off payment. This is one time. Ben's asking, do clients pay a fixed fee per month, or is it percent? They pay a fixed fee. Usually I would say between 1,000 and 1,500 per month. 10,000 credits, Daniel, is 10,000 emails. So it's the whole first campaign, right? And you saw the outcome of what 10,000 emails can do. It basically pays for itself. So it's a one payment for 135 years. Yep, pretty much. I told you I was good to you. Perfect. All right. Any other questions? If not, it's all good. And just a reminder, if you do have questions, feel free to email us at customersupport@scalecertified.com. I'll put it in here, customersupport@scalecertified.com. And if you're in the WhatsApp channel, just WhatsApp us. We can answer. No problems at all. Any questions you do have. And Daniel are asking, so we can use Scale Certified sub accounts for, yes, you can. For every customer, yes, you can. Yep. That's not a problem.
I have one question now.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So with all those 26, so what would have access? They would work just like an import, like a snapshot import?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Ben, on day 2, we spoke a little bit more about the automations, all the reactivation. I'll show you the depth of those. But if there's particular questions about that, I'm happy to. Basically, the way it works is if you have the business has 4 aspects to it, and you've got database reactivation, which reactivates the old leads that they have. You've got referral automations. You've got an AI employee, and you've got the review automations. Business comes into you. They have a bunch of old leads, which basically every business has. We can generate instant revenue for those businesses using the reactivation. So we're lighting up old leads basically, right? And driving revenue without any expense really. There's a tiny expense for them for SMS costs, text message costs, but that's about it. It's next to nothing anyway. So we're generating revenue for pretty much next to nothing for them because they're old leads who were interested. We're just getting them back in the picture again. Then the review system kicks in. Every customer that comes through the door, we start building a pattern of leaving 4 and 5-star reviews consistently. Then that increases their local visibility on Google naturally, because that's how it works. The better, more recent reviews you have on Google, the higher you rank locally. Then the referral system kicks in. So basically every customer that comes in, they're then receiving encouragement, offers and such to refer their friends to the business, which then increases their customer base with new customers without spending on paid advertising. And finally, you've got the AI employee. The AI employee, any person that calls the business, texts the business, emails the business, they're nurtured all the time. So we're basically making sure they're converting the leads. We're driving all these leads from old leads they have to new leads through referrals, to new leads through Google and reviews. And our AI employees making sure they convert. So it creates this powerhouse of a system. Those automations are extremely in-depth to actually do that effectively. That's what we're providing, the entire built-out system. You just plug it in, and we've got it for every single niche. That's how the reactivation works. Austin is asking, how long does it normally take to start getting income? Well, it's all about inputs with email volume, right? You can get your first email campaign launched by Saturday morning, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd probably wait till Monday for, or get your campaign set up and then send it on Monday. But just make sure it's actually sending on Monday, not in the setup. So do the setup, only takes you like 90 minutes to do. So do that. Then your email starts sending. And as long as you're sending a couple of hundred per day because of the volume that we have, then you get traction very, very quickly because the volume is high enough, right? But of course, the volume is high, but the personalization is the secret. We're doing that at scale. So you can start getting income very quickly simply because of speed of action, really. It's a logical reason behind that. And Daniel's saying, teach us how to make the slides. Maybe one day. Where do I find the WhatsApp and the Facebook group? I will, once after this call, Phil, I'll post the WhatsApp group link and then tag you in it. So, because if you type in WhatsApp, you might find it in the search bar. But regardless, I will post it as a more recent post for you and tag you. Todd is asking, do we have a list of the different options for lead finders somewhere? Yeah, we have all the lead finders, and we've also got people that can do it depending on if you want someone to do it. We don't take any, it's just a roof. We don't take any. It's not as if it's like a service or kickback. Someone we've used for years. So we'll give the details and also all the different platforms you can use as well. The Rails saying you mentioned that there is a software that can be used to extract leads. Extract? Do you mean like basically scrape the leads, or do you mean personalize? Scrape the leads. There's like D7, Apollo, Clay, all these like scrap.io is another one Charles has been using. The hyper-personalization, it's called the hyper-personalization engine. There's no monthly fee on it. It's just credits. But again, I'm giving you 10,000 of them, so you don't have to pay for that either. Charles is saying,
good, sorry.
What's that? Sorry?
As far as scraping leads, doesn't Go High Level also have a tool? Not to mention there's already one on Google.
It does to some extent, yeah. But I would probably use Scrap or something, because Go High Level does it through Google. Scrap, I think, does it even better through Google as well. But again, I have to try. Charles, I trust Charles endlessly, so I know if he says it's good, it'll be good. But I have to get myself comfortable with how it works before I can tell you how it works. You know, because I just know that it's meant to be pretty good for leads. Scrap.io, it's called. Charles is saying, if I'm using Smartly for cold email, can that continue, or do I use benefits? I'm not using Go. You will be using the Go High Level setup anyway, Charles. You're still using that. Our systems are all built through Go High Level for it. Yanth asking, do we have a website? Yes.
Yeah, Niall, what I'm saying is, you have the 4 email sequence that goes out. I have this set up where everything's going through, getting everything from scrap, cleaning it by Never Bounce, and then putting it into Smart Lead with everything that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to stop doing it or just everything put into Go? Am I missing something by doing it that way?
No,
Is after the emails are done, is there like an auto sequence or something that I just want to make sure I'm not losing by doing it that way?
No, you won't be losing. No.
Okay, so I can continue to do it that way.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay, I just wanted clarity. Thank you.
No worries. Yanth asking, she would likely do another site. Do we have a website? Yes, we have a completely built out website for it with all the services and all the video sales letters. So each service also has like a sales funnel built into it. So it's not just like a describe the service page. It's actually the main system page. Then within that, under the services tabs, you actually have built-in sales funnels in there as well, with video sales letters too for each of the services. So it's actually pretty in-depth. We'd say it's the best offer yet. I agree. Where will we post the WhatsApp group? In the Facebook group, John. We'll post the WhatsApp group there. And Sharifa, you were asking, is it the same question you're asking in the chat, or is that a different one?
Sort of, yeah. So the question would be, I saw a question earlier post about, a lot of clients already receiving emails.
Mm-hmm.
They're bombarded by emails daily. What was the answer to that?
The answer is in the hyper-personalization system. That's that system I was talking about. It is basically what it does is you can upload a list of leads, thousands and thousands of leads, and it will research every single lead directly, individually, and it will find what they're doing, what they've been working on, the offers they're running, and it'll actually find the problems and predict the problems those businesses have, custom to them, right, based on what they're doing, which means it's going to be correct. It reads their mind. What it does is it takes the 10,000 emails, it does it for all the leads in minutes. It then creates custom paragraphs we put at the start of those emails and merges them in automatically. So every single person receives an email that has got something extremely custom, not just a line that says, I love your website.
I got you. Okay, so it's already detected what their real issue is already.
Yeah, which...
Okay, so that's what differentiates us from that. Okay. The next part of that was what the gentleman was kind of what he was just saying. So on the email flow and the scrubbing leads and all that stuff, I don't know anything about that, but I did see where the suggestions came in. So is that already built in? Like, we don't have to build anything, right?
No, you don't have to build anything.
Okay, got it. All right. And then are we only working this by emails, or is it also by text?
I typically do email just because I can completely automate it, and I can just not even, I can set it up. what you do is you set it up, right? And it's literally set for months, right? So imagine you having to turn up and prospect every day for months. Really hard to do with the system. That's what
you mean if I did it by text?
If you did it by anything, you know, any form of prospecting, it allows you to have that level of consistent input without the effort. So that's why I like to do. I would rather do more emails than I would change because it's just so automated.
Because it seems like a lot of those industries, those guys respond best by text, real time. And I'm not the expert here, but I'm just saying I know from working with a lot of them in those particular industries, especially like HVAC, they're not really reading emails. Hell, a lot of them don't even own websites. So if we're communicating with them, I would think it would be by text. But I understand what you're saying. I guess this system is built particularly for just email flow, right?
The reason is just because of the customization. On text, we're a little bit limited because if we're going to send something that really digs into their pain, the text is going to be, you know? So email, because the preview lines in the emails pop up and it's almost like they just preview line, they see something completely personal. I've had scenarios where people, you know, I say we figured it out, but the system figures out that the person has published a book, which is completely random. And we mentioned that. And all of a sudden, this was a client that closed and actually said to his business partner, I closed, you know, I want to work with them because they did all the research beforehand into the fact that I'd written a book. That's why I paid attention to them. So it was nothing to do with book writing. It was just, you know, that's the customization. But that's what grabs their attention. So whenever that preview comes up, the reason they open our email, even if it is a roofer or if it's a contractor, it's because of what it says at the start. That's the secret.
Okay, and the subject line. Okay.
Or the preview.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and real quickly, this is a little bit off topic, but kind of sort of. I'm just curious. So this is the legacy system, but you've shared with us, you know, the digital, how a lot of these guys will also want to transition into a digital platform. You understand? So does this allow us to do that with them also, or is it just this?
With what you have, you can basically do everything.
Got it. Okay. That's what I was wondering. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No
That's all.
And if anyone's waiting for a question, I'm working my way through the chat here. Just go one by one. So if I've not answered you, I've probably not reached that point yet. But Anthony's asking, if we're doing go high level, is there a checklist to make sure the email deliverability is good? To some extent, yeah. The way we ensure the deliverability is really high is obviously in the setup process, but it's actually because of how we can spread across different domains and because of the customizations, the level of customization, that makes the biggest difference. So we're not sending 10,000 at once. It's all drip fed. So it protects all the domains. It's set up to protect everything and be completely custom. So it doesn't really work the same way as like blasting emails. It's almost like you're sending them one by one, just automatically. So it basically protects them. So yeah, in short, yes. Phil's just purchasing payment plan. Wonderful, Phil. We'll get you started. And Ben is saying, does it create a hyper-personalized subject line to grab there? It doesn't do the subject line, Ben, because I like to use quick question 100% of the time. That's the only subject line I will ever use because the open rates have been the highest, and I have sent, I want to say millions, probably as close to that, emails over the course of time, and I've used quick question every single time. So I always use that one. The customization is just below. It's like the preview. It's at the top of the email. It's what they see when they get a little preview of that email. That's what it changes. So subject line, I always use quick question. The customization is just below that point. All right. Looks like I've worked my way through the chat there. Are there any other questions anybody wanted to ask before we wrap up? And again, I'll be in the WhatsApp group and whatnot. I'll be there. So whatever you need, you can ask away. Any questions?
Yeah.
I got go for it.
Two last questions. And
go for it.
So the sales video, I'm pretty sure you're a professional. Everything you do is top notch. So the videos, I'm sure they're generic. That they're not mentioning like I can pop my own business name on the front of that sales video, but are the sales videos downloadable to host them wherever I want to host them at?
Yep.
Okay.
You're also obviously let's call a spade. I have a little bit of an accent. So if you want, you've got the scripts there as well. You've got the slide deck. If you want to record it, if you want to do AI, the world's your oyster there. You've got all the tools to do it as well.
Okay, and then the final day for you're shutting it down. What day and what time?
Monday
morning.
Yeah, Cyber Monday, so probably later on in the afternoon. Monday.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No worries. Ben's asking, will there be a WhatsApp subgroup for just for this? Yes, there will be. I'll create one for that. I'm saying you sound great and you have an accent. All right. Any other questions? And feel free to ask. I'm in no rush. Whatever you need, any questions you have, feel free to ask. If not, it is all good. One accent. Perfect. All right. Well, listen, if there's no more questions, feel free to ask in the WhatsApp group. No, Ben, it'll probably be about 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning UK time. That's when it'll be. So Eastern time US, roughly at midnight. No worries, David. You're welcome.
Thank you, Niall.
No worries, Wade. You're welcome. I thought we did not use Gamma for the slides. No, Gamma is very good for consistent slide decks. It's the consistency where if you're doing a program or something, it can produce beautiful slides very consistently. What I've used is a little different, and I'll share it. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, although not consistent, which is the issue. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for coming, everybody. Hopefully you found that beneficial. Ben saying, thanks, Niall. Very excited about the potential. Thank you for the opportunity. No worries. You're welcome. And any questions, as ever, just let us know. We're here to help. The WhatsApp group will be open. Facebook, if you have questions, feel free to post, email, whatever you need. We'll be there to answer your questions. Whatever you need, just tell us. No worries. You're welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll close up the training now. And I'll see you all on the inside.